Hi everyone, welcome. Hope you're well. I'm so happy to be here with you today and painting for you. I've been really looking forward to it. And to everyone that celebrates Thanksgiving, I hope you had a really great one. I hope it was a really great day. It was a beautiful day here in the Portland area, really sunny and crisp outside, so it was a perfect day. And my mom was here with me, so that was super, super nice. Let's see. I have what I think is going to be a fun program for you today and some announcements to share with you as well. I thought I would start out today with sharing a little bit of what's going on for me in my painting studio. So I pulled up a few pictures from my other space, which you guys don't really get to see very often. So I thought I would share a little bit what's going on in there. So that's the iPad, Bryce.
Great.
Yeah. So this is my kind of abstracted landscape that I have going. It's 4 feet by 4 feet, and it's acrylic. And you can see up there next to it is a pastel version that I've adapted to the larger piece that I'm working. That's sort of my maquette that I'm working from. And you can see I have lots and lots of stuff, lots of art supplies going, and some kind of fun things there. I pre-mix a lot of paint so that while I'm in process, and that's what those white containers are, that's pre-mixed hues and different value strings of the hues, so that I can be work faster and work on multiple pieces at once. So right now I have 3 large pieces in progress. Each of those pieces is sort of related to one another. So there's a strong thread. Usually when I'm doing that, there's a strong thread connecting the pieces in progress in terms of a color strategy, style, and so on. And let's see what else is in that photo. You could see there leaning against the wall. Let's see here. There are those brushes that I've mounted on some long bamboo sticks. And I have some bamboo growing in my yard, so I had seen another artist online using these having attached brushes to long sticks. And so I just grabbed my bamboo, and it was perfect. The brush handle slid right in there, and it's a little duct tape, and voila, I've got a really interesting tool to make some really dynamic marks with. It's so great to get out there at the end of those bamboo sticks and make the marks. And that's the containers of pre-mixed paint. And I just buy these containers with the lids online. I think about like 50 at a time because they use a lot because you're mixing a lot of paint. And what else here? Oh, and that's just another view of that space. So I've got my second kind of set, my other boxes of pastels. So it's really a dynamic kind of play space. It's where I'm doing, experimenting, innovating, working on personal work and working on pieces for the lessons that I do. So I'm doing a lot of development and kind of R&D and just play and experimenting in this space. So it's really fun. So that's another view. And so I've got books and I've got stuff that I want to look at, and I try to make it pretty so that it's and warm or cool. I try to keep the temperature really comfortable. So it's a place I want to be. And I think that's really important about a studio space. So this is some variety of different papers that I'm playing with for some new pastel stuff. And those little mats up there, various sizes, so that I can really quickly get this little studies done. And what else? Oh, different sketchbooks. Let's see, is that another view? So I have different sketchbooks for different things. So that one on the top there is, obviously the kind of playing with different abstract ideas. And then, head drawing or whatever else I'm working on for lessons. So I have probably 4 or 5 at least different kinds of sketchbooks that are serving me in different ways. I'm always trying to up my skills or hone the skills, or just make sure that I'm, it's that use or lose it principle. So I really believe in that. And that's just another view, including my water heater. But that's one of the other pieces that's in progress that's kind of related to the other larger one. Yeah, that one. Let's see, what else have I got there? Oh, and then lots of different tools and lots of water. You see, I have those buckets full of water because, as I'm working relatively, in a really dynamic way and quickly. And you want to keep your brushes and your tools clean so that whatever color I've spent a lot of time mixing the color and getting the colors just right. So I want to make sure that when they go on the panels, that they are what I want them to be. Let's see what else. And I actually did have something. I did have one other one I thought that was maybe it didn't come through. Just showing the tools. No, I guess not. But yeah, in terms of applying the paint, there's lots and lots of tools that I'm using, scrapers and putty knives and big brushes and different types of brushes that have different kinds of hair, some that are really rough, some that are more synthetic, kind of sable-like, so that I can really get that really nice wide variety of mark making when I'm painting. So anyway, I thought it would be fun to just share some of that with you guys today, because you don't get to see that quite as much. So and in terms of painting, you can see that there's a lot of stuff out there, but it's organized. And I think for me that's I like to at least start out that way. And so during the day, then it kind of goes goes to chaos. And then at the end of every painting session, I really do try to kind of pull it back and clean all the brushes, get new fresh water for the next day, get it all set up so that I can start with the chaos again. Because it gets to be just kind of overwhelming, all that stuff. But and I also thought I would share it with you because I'm so grateful for that space. I feel really blessed to have a space like this. And I know that for a lot of you, you're maybe not, maybe you are, but maybe you're not making a living at it. Maybe it's not, maybe it's just something that you are wanting to just start engaging with. So maybe it's just a little corner of your kitchen or a corner of a room, a card table or whatnot. But any kind of little play space, experimenting place that you can carve out for you, I highly recommend it. It's really, I think, an important part of the creative process and really inspirational for me. So, okay, so that's that. And what else? What else? I have a couple other things before I start painting today. I was on vacation for about 10 days, and it was a lovely vacation. I don't take vacations very much, so it was really nice. And when I got back, Kevin gave me a little gift. And here's the gift. It's a pastel painting that he did, and it was so touched. It was so great. And Kevin, you want to talk about how this was for you?
Yeah, I was sitting at the video editing deck and it's doing the work and then I was just looking over at the easel and looking at the pastels and I was like, well, why don't I just go over and give this a try? And I actually haven't done really any pastels. You gave me a bunch before and I never really broke them open, and which I'm going to in the future. But then I didn't use a reference photo. I just played around and
Very
it's
good.
a lot harder than I thought, for sure.
Yeah, but you clearly have been picking some things up, even if by osmosis. So
I'm the one person who's seen every single video.
That's true. You
Yes,
are.
I'm
That is true, right? So I would hope. But yeah, look, you can kind of got that kind of faceted mark making and the shapes up here, and
Do you want to punch
got
in a little bit, Bryce? Can
yeah,
you do that where you punch in on the?
and the
Can you punch in on the? Someone's
on
asking to
the.
see it a little closer.
Oh, we could put it up here
Oh
too.
yeah, we just put it up there.
Yeah, that's it. Nice job on the the foreground shape. You did say that you were, and I thought this was interesting. You said that your intent was not to make the sky blue,
Yep.
but you ended up doing it
Did
anyway.
it anyway. I picked it and I started doing it. I was like, oh, I told myself I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
And I was going to try to glaze another color over it, but
Uh-huh.
then I didn't also want to make mud and do the whole routine. So, and then I
Right.
also made the foreground was much too light, just Carlson's theories of angles.
Yeah.
So then I glazed it over to take it down a little
Take
bit.
it down a little bit.
So
Yeah. So you're using different modes of mark making, and you use the ground. This is a little piece of Wallace paper that was scrapped from the drawer, I assume, right?
Yep.
And it has a yellow ochre tone to it. So thank you, Kevin.
Not a
That
problem.
was really, that was
Oh, and
really.
I also used the bounding box. That was another.
Oh, you did?
Yep. I
Very
did.
good.
Yep.
So you're listening to the teacher.
Yep.
Yes.
So you turned it afterwards.
Very good.
No, I kind of went over the bounding box, but I made sure I made a couple ticks for the corners, so I didn't go
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
edge of the paper.
Yeah. So
But I
nice.
still went a little far, but I knew that I wasn't gonna.
Yeah.
If I wanted to frame it, I knew I had some room.
Very good. Well, I'm going to get on to today's piece. I'm going to share with you a couple of studies that I did. And then I have some, I'll stop kind of in the middle. I have an announcement. Our Black Friday sale is going on right now, so we'll talk about that a little bit in the middle. So if you go to the website, paintinglessonswithmarla.com, you'll find the Black Friday coupon code and all that, but I'll go into that in a little bit. But yeah, it's our Black Friday is our big sale. So if you're interested in the online lessons or the monthly subscription, now is definitely the time to jump in there and take that plunge. Okay, so this little sunset scene that I'm going to work with today, it's not sunset, I'm sorry, it's sunrise. It is when I go for my walks in the morning, I pass by this spot almost every day when I walk. And it's on my way, so I pass by, I live in a pretty urban kind of area. And I walk by this little shopping center every morning before I get to more of a trail that I spend most of my walk on. But this morning was such an amazing sunrise, and I just love the little twinkling lights and the car and also the telephone poles. I think that makes for a really interesting little scene. But in terms of approaching something like this, of course, there's so many different ways of going about doing any kind of painting, right? Different styles, different media, different modes. And in terms of my students, I'm always really encouraging. My thing is for not for you to paint little Marla Baguettas. I want you to paint, whatever it is that you have in your heart and help you to do that. And I know everybody's got art in their heart, whether you know it or not. I know you do. So that's my main thing as an art instructor. I've been doing it for, gosh, now over 30 years. Yeah. So I know a little something about it. But I wanted to share with you today these studies because they're different approaches, and they all have pastel. They all are. I would say the thing that's the thread that's through each of them is they all have the same value strategy. They don't all have the same color strategy. but they all have this, they have in common that dark foreground and the brighter sky. But in terms of approaches, they're different. So let me share them with you one by one. Then we'll put them all out. So this one has that sort of, what I think is really a lot of pastel work has these sort of, it's really fun and not easy, but the opportunity to make this sort of little faceted jewel-like marks. And it's fun. I like it. It's has a particular look to it, and that is, when you're doing a sunset, it can be really, really effective. So then this next one is similar, but a little bit more sort of, I would say, something that's a little less faceted mark making, and the mark making is somewhat blended as it's being put down. Not so much finger blending, but the approach of putting the marks down is more blending them as you go, pushing one layer into another rather than just putting a mark down and kind of letting it be. So a little bit different. Color strategies, value strategies very much the same. Color strategies similar. So that's that. Then from there, and typically when I'm painting something, I'm going to start with the idea of using the photo reference or whatever it is I'm using, thinking about it as using observed color or going by what I see. And then if I'm going to do multiples, which I highly recommend doing multiples of the same scene, then I'm going to start exhausting possibilities. I'm going to start in and go, okay, now what can I shift a little bit in this direction or that direction and get a different kind of look and a different feel. So then I started doing that. So this next one, which I really like, it's one of my favorites. So you can see here, I'm simplifying, you might even say abstracting slightly, but and the color, value strategy, similar, just the same really. Color strategy, I'm playing around with it a little bit. Also mark making strategy, playing around with it, more glazy. There's this glazing, which I think in this kind of scene, I'm not really interested in getting it exactly like the photo. You might be, that might be just what you want. And there's nothing wrong with that either. If you end up with it and it looks just like the photo, okay, that's good. For me, that's not exactly where I'm after. I'm more after what does that morning feel like? What is the feel of it? And can I capture a little bit of the feel? So that's where I want to be. So then next, what else have I got? Okay, yeah, then I'm going here. So this one, these two have kind of these I did a little bit bigger. These two have in common the mark making, the value strategy, these are more common in the mark making, more of a ethereal, atmospheric feel, which is something, on a morning walk like this, I'm sort of in this, I try to let my mornings really unfold slowly, very meditative, almost trance-like. So this kind of approach to me is more where I'm at emotionally than these. So this feels right to me. And then there's this one, which is again along those lines. These are connected mark making wise, and just letting the pastel drift from shape to shape is going to give that kind of glazing and more ethereal feel. So I like these. I like all of them. There's not, I mean, I don't dislike any of them. Then lastly, I thought, wow, it would be really fun to just do a monochrome version. So I got out some charcoal and just one, the whitest pastel I have, and I ended up with this guy. Now, I love this. I just think it's just turned out cool. And sometimes you make a mark and you put it down, and it just does it, right? And it just works. So, and if you're lucky and if you're lucky and wise, you catch yourself, you make that mark, and then you let it be. And you've taken the time to not be so focused on the reference, that you actually look at what you did, and then from there you can if you do that, then you can stop yourself from going too far and losing that thing that was just like serendipity. You want to make sure that you don't keep going when you've made something wow, that's really good. But it's hard. It's really hard. And often that's where we go awry in painting. We don't recognize what's working. I'm always telling my students that when we're doing critiques, which I'm going to be doing a critique right after this for the monthly people, identify what's working in your piece first before you start picking it apart. What's working in it, and build on that rather than, like perseverating on the things that aren't working in a piece. So there's a lot of really fun kind of serendipity happening in this guy and this one too that I really like. And not to say that these other ones don't have merit. I think they do. But just different approaches. So different strokes for different folks. That's right. Okay, so today, as I'm thinking about painting for you today, doing the scene once again, I'm a little torn because my inclination is to go again, but then again, sometimes I think people want to see a little more realistic version, if you will. So what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start and kind of let it unfold. How's that? So we'll see where it goes. And if the spirit moves me, I'll let it be moved. I'll be moved, and we'll see. So we'll see what happens. Kevin, I hope that shadow doesn't come across.
I might be able to throw something up there.
Okay.
Just a piece of.
Yeah, we've got this streak of light coming in on the. You guys can see it from that shot, but yeah, that won't be good.
Yeah, I'll throw
on
a
the
curtain
video.
up real quick.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is as I start in painting, I'm going to put these on the floor, so where I can see them. That's the easiest thing for me to do. So I have all these ideas, and I'm just gonna, before I get going, talk about the Black Friday, so I don't have to interrupt myself to do that. I just want to make sure that you guys know that our sale, it's a Black Friday sale, ends December 11th. So you have a little bit of time here. Every single workshop is on sale, and the monthly subscription, monthly and annual subscription is on sale too. And there are now 20 online workshops, and there are workshops in with a pastel focus, an oil focus, acrylic, and drawing now. So it's pretty extensive library of workshops. And of course, the monthly product is amazing now. It's got just hundreds and hundreds of hours of lessons. We have Art Speak now, which is guest demos and interviews with guest artists. We have Colette Odia-Smith, Andrew McDermott, Jacob Aguiar, Mike Beeman, Don Emerson, and more as guest artists. And there's just a ton of stuff there. So in the monthly subscription, and a wonderful Facebook group. I know not everyone's a big fan of Facebook, but the Facebook group is such a wonderful, supportive community. I'm really proud of what we've built in terms of that goes. You know, people really help each other. It's just amazing. So this is, there's a coupon right now for $23 off any order, and that can be used. It's the best time of year for the yearly or monthly subscribers. It's either $100 off a new yearly subscription, a new yearly subscription, or 2 months free for new subscriptions. With the coupon, everyone can get a workshop for almost next to nothing if you play your cards right. So if you've never purchased one before, it's really the time to do it. It's really, I think, an incredible opportunity right now. I don't think you'll find lessons like these at any price anywhere else. And I'm just so thankful to all my students all around the world. I'm really committed to bringing art into everybody's lives. I know that there's an artist inside everybody. I know if you're watching this, you probably are already an artist or doing art, but I know some of you aren't. But I really do believe in bringing that motivation and inspiration. I think there is an artist in everybody. Maybe you just don't know it yet. Maybe it's really deeply hidden, or maybe you're just, haven't gotten to it. But I know it's there without a doubt, and I think that I can help you get there. So, and I think, as I said earlier, I'm really committed to helping you paint like you paint. Not to paint like me or any other artist that's out there doing lessons, or, I want to help you bring out your own voice as a painter. I think that's important. Okay, so let's get painting. I'm ready, I think. As ready as ever, as ready as I'm going to be. I've done it a few times now, which is kind of cool. And let's see. I'm just gonna get going. I gotta put my hair up. And we had a little rocky start before we got going today. We had internet issues. Oh my gosh.
Minutes.
Yeah, like 3 minutes before we're like scrambling. But Bryce, as usual, made it happen. Yay. Yeah, we had to hardwire, which is fun. Luckily we can. Okay, let's go. Let's get painting. So this is a little different. I decided I liked the look of taping these off. And that's, you guys know I don't usually do that. But it does kind of serve as a bounding box in a way. So I think it's fine. The reason I thought of it was because, I thought it would be nice to sell these on Etsy. Oh, that's right. Yeah, check out my Etsy store. It's Marla Baguetta Fine Art on Etsy. And there's some fun stuff there. But so I like the way this looks for that reason. So.
And can you remind us of the paper, and also people want to know why you have the brown paper on the side?
Okay, the brown paper on the side is to save on tape. So the whole piece of paper is masked. This is just paper from the hardware store. Where are you going to test the colors? Oh, I'm not. Well, yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I could test, if I wanted a test spot, I could get another scrap. That's always a good way to do it if you end up doing something like this. You can testing the colors is a really good idea. And the paper is pastel matte. It's just white. And you can see there's some pretty deep scoring in the pastel matte. Unfortunately, that's been the case for this paper a lot. For me, it doesn't bother me, but I know some of you guys just, that's a bummer. You don't like it. I get it. Okay,
Really
so
quick, would you say that masking off, you don't always mask off the
no,
paper,
I don't. I rarely do it.
and that actually kind of serves as a little bit of a bounding box.
Right. That's what, yeah, I did just say that.
Cool. So
Yeah.
so that's why
Yeah.
you do it.
No, I taped it off because it's going to look cool when I get done. I'm going to pull that tape off and it's going to be fun. It's like, it'll look good. It'll just look good. That's why. Just very self-satisfying. Very self-satisfying act. I always do that, when I'm painting. I want it to make me happy. I really, really do. Okay, so I'm pre-selecting some of these bright colors for the sky. This kind of rose madder is going to be really nice for the clouds. There's actually, to my eye, quite a lot of brown in those clouds. Even up top there, there's some stuff like this. There's some grays. So just pulling out a few things ahead of time. And, so maybe we can get a kind of hybrid of what I did going, which would be nice to have that happen. So a little bit of feel of all of it. And then there's some kind of a light peachy thing in there too. All right, let's give this a go. The first thing that I'm going to do is get these kinds of clouds, the layering in. And I'm not trying to make these clouds look exactly the same shapes that's there. I'm more concerned with how it feels than I am with the making sure that it's exactly like, does it feel like that? Is what I'm trying to do. Look at that scoring. This piece has really got that going on. Whew. That's kind of interesting. All right, I'm going to just go ahead with these fluorescents, which is pretty fun. There's some interesting color in there too. There's some, I could do some color picking. I had somebody asking about the color picking on the Facebook group, and I'm going to show the monthly people how to do that in the next hour, just so you remember. Get a little fun color going. Ooh, that's already really, really cool. And I'm also thinking about some play of the edges of this dark shape. Right where shadow meets light is always a really nice opportunity to pump up the intensity of color. There's when on an edge where shadow meets light, there's often this vibration of color that we can play up on. You can see that in the sunset when the sun, you know, that bright red that's right on the edge of the sun. It's amazing. I got to see some sunsets when I was on vacation. It was pretty nice. Yeah, this is coming along. I can see it already. It's gonna have a nice in-between vibe, which is really cool. And with that in mind, I think I'm gonna play with the color in the sky a little bit. I'm gonna go to this instead of dominantly that periwinkle blue. I'm gonna put some of it in, but I'm not gonna let it dominate. I like this. I like this kind of blue with these colors a little bit better. And that's just, you know, that's just my preference. That's all that is. That isn't, there's not a right or a wrong there. And that needs to go overall a little darker. And so we'll get that.
Just out of curiosity, have you ever tried inspecting the paper before you put any product on to see if it's scored, like holding up to the light or?
Yeah, I have. You know, personally, I don't care. I'm going to work with it, whatever it is. If it's doing that, it's not going to bother me. It's just not. I pretty easy going about it all. But if you're not, you know, if you're one of those people like, oh, you think it's gonna, to me, all it's gonna do is just add another element of surprise and play into the work. And that's all good. I'm gonna get a little more on here just so I can feel the tooth a little bit more here and there. I really want this more. That kind of blue, I love that. It's better for me than the other. And this, as it comes down, it kind of gets to be this almost green. That's pretty good. Good. I just want to play with those layers just a bit more. And again, I'm not trying to make it exactly like it is out here. It's just not going to be. It's pretty cool though. And Just bringing in a little bit more of the yellow kind of vibe. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's maybe not the right. I want to get it a little bit different. More like this. And then okay, I have really concentrated on the sky a lot. And that makes sense, right? I mean, get in there, make some nice big old strokes. Okay, so what about this down here? I want to play with it a little. I don't want to overdo it. I want to keep that a nice strong shape. I'm kind of looking at what I did for that monochrome. Let's look at it again. Let's look at a couple of these. Look at how simple that is. Look at how simple that is. That's like 4 marks to describe that. Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, I'm always, when I'm painting, I want to, how can I say it with the very least? What can I get away with? That's, all right. So now I'm thinking about a couple of things. That, and let's see. I want to keep it kind of on the warmer side. I'm hesitating because I just really want the right thing to go on here. That might be okay. Okay. So, what do I want to do? Maybe. Okay, that's kind of good. Ah, that's nice. Okay, so that's the lines in the street. Look at how cool that is, it's just neat. All right, lights, those lights. I'm gonna pick something yellow. I'm gonna go for this bright yellow. And I want to place those headlights. They're small. Not that. I gotta get them right. Now I'm going to put some brighter white inside that. And tiny bit of brighter. So I've got this line right here, like that. Now I'm going to put a couple of the street lights in, like that, and the lights on the building. That's just fun. Sorry. Just, it's so fun. Okay, now for some cool and I'm just kind of almost stamping these marks in like that. I'm not drawing them like that. I'm just, and if I need to clean it up, I can. And then the telephone wires. So this takes a little guts because I'm just gonna put them in, and I want to use a light touch. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and it probably shouldn't be perfect. I want it to have atmosphere, so the marks are kind of broken. It's not like one line all the way across. It's kind of broken. Like that. I'm going to put a few other little things in the roadside, like sidewalk idea. Then I have one other thought about the sky. I wonder about adding a little bit of this. That's good because what's that to me, what this kind of pink, brighter pink is doing, it's connecting what's going on in the foreground a little bit better with the sky so that it's a little more connected. And I'm going to also add a little bit of this in here just to get that layering look. Okay. All right, great. I like it because to me it's a nice blending of all, of quite a few of these different things. I'm going to pull it down off of there and I'm going to take the tape off, which is sort of like the big reveal before we finish. But yeah, I like it. Do we have any questions today? Or...
One question earlier about using watercolor paper.
Yeah.
If you can't get a sanded paper, you did that with a lot of times when we were doing animals.
Yeah, we
next
did.
level animals.
Yeah, we did it with next level animals. Yeah.
And I can't remember. Did we use pastel ground to add surface to
We
those?
we did on some cases, but not all. I mean, some of that paper just takes pastel really well. We also used, you can use like a Fabriano, like a printmaking papers are really excellent for pastel as well. So there's a lot, there's a lot of options out there. And actually pastel matte is not a sanded paper. It's like a fiber composite. It's not a true sanded paper at all. So it's very different. So there's, in all the papers, you have to really experiment around with the papers too, because they each have different looks, and some, not only do they have different looks, but they have a different feel. The painting experience, tactile experience of painting is different on each of them. And you may just really love one and just can't stand another. So it's really personal. So, okay, let's get this down here. I also I'm going to pull these other ones back up just by comparison. A couple of these.
Another quick question is, how do you plan on framing this piece? Because now that it's masked off.
Well, these kinds of things you could do a nice float with, even, I think they could be floated. They could be still, you could still be, they also could be matted, but you mat it a little wide and leave a little space around. Let's get this tape off of here. It just has a nice, clean, modern look to it, I think. I even like the little kind of roughness to the edges. That's sweet. You could even sign it on the white. I probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably go ahead and sign them on the art, on the image area of the art. Yeah. Yeah, I like this because it's kind of, it falls somewhere in between these, which I think that's kind of what I was after. So yeah, it's good. Good. Okay, so that's it. Before I leave, I just want to remind you to make sure you head to the website and check out our sale. Black Friday, it really is our best sale. And we have really been really careful about our pricing, really hoping to make things really affordable for people and give as many people as we could possibly can the opportunity to be able to get the lessons at a really great price. I think they're a really great value. So it's to December 11th. There's that coupon code is good for $23 off on anything on the website. So make sure you check it out. And in the meantime, I really hope you have a really wonderful rest of your holiday weekend if you're celebrating Thanksgiving like I am. And I'm working today, and I'm going to be out there painting tonight. That's where I'm headed. You know exactly where I'm headed this evening. I'm out there going to be pushing paint. And I don't think there's much better thing to be pushing around. So All right. Okay, guys, we'll see you soon. And those of you that are monthly people, stay tuned. And at 1:30, I'll be back, and we're going to be doing a bunch of critiques and talking about a few things too. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.